Good morning, Chairman Jones and members of the board. My name is Sandra Reynolds, and I serve as director on the leadership team here at Tesla. I want to thank you for the opportunity to present today. In the next several minutes, I will provide an overview of the brief history of Tesla, its current operations, highlight an area where we are underperforming, and present a plan for improvement. This discussion is intended to support our long-term success and align our operations with Tesla's mission. The story of Tesla really begins back in 2003 when Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning founded the company with the bold idea of designing and selling high-performance electric sports cars, starting with the Tesla Roadster. The goal at that time was simple but ambitious: to prove that electric vehicles could compete directly with traditional gasoline-powered cars. Not long after, Elon Musk joined the company as an early investor and became CEO in 2008, which helped accelerate its growth and global visibility. Today, Tesla looks very different from those early days. We employ more than 120,000 people worldwide and operate factories and retail locations across multiple continents. Our focus has expanded well beyond sports cars. We now produce mass-market vehicles like the Model 3 and Model Y, and we've moved into large-scale energy storage and renewable energy solutions. At the same time, we are implementing targeted workforce reductions to streamline operations, improve efficiency, and maintain the company's agility in a highly competitive environment. As you may be aware, Fortune magazine compiles its annual World's Most Admired Companies list using 8 dimensions of reputation listed here: innovation, people management, use of corporate assets, social responsibility, quality of management, financial soundness, long-term investment value, and quality of products and services. According to Fortune, these criteria are drawn from surveys of executives, directors, and analysts who provide a consistent external framework for evaluating leading organizations. I believe this framework is important for us to consider because it highlights not only where Tesla excels, but also where we have opportunities to strengthen our practices and align more fully with top global standards. The main issue we need to address at Tesla is the underperformance in the quality of management. While Tesla leads the industry in innovation, leadership decisions have sometimes created instability and raised concerns about the company's ability to sustain long-term growth. This directly connects to Fortune's dimension of quality of management, which evaluates how well leaders guide an organization and maintain stakeholder competence. We have identified 3 key reasons why this is a pressing issue for us. First, leadership decisions have a direct impact on financial performance and investor confidence. Second, weak management practices reduce employee morale and make it harder to retain the talent needed for innovation and production. And third, firm and consistent leadership is essential for maintaining customer trust and long-term investment value. For these reasons, the board must prioritize addressing this issue. Here we will address the ramifications and consequences. Because Tesla is underperforming in the area of quality of management, the company is already experiencing significant ramifications. We are seeing financial volatility linked to unpredictable leadership decisions. This raises concerns among investors. At the same time, employee engagement and retention are at risk because inconsistent management practices reduce trust and morale. If this dimension is not improved, Tesla faces 3 major consequences. First, ongoing financial instability will make it difficult to sustain growth and attract investment. Second, high turnover and low morale will hurt productivity and innovation. And third, brand reputation and customer loyalty could erode, which is especially damaging in such a competitive industry. Research shows that poor management practices directly undermine employee motivation, organizational effectiveness, and long-term success. Addressing these issues is critical if Tesla wants to maintain its market leadership position. Tesla's organizational structure is what we call a functional structure, meaning departments like engineering, design, finance, sales, and marketing are organized by specialty. These functions operate in a hierarchy with decision-making heavily centralized at the executive level, especially under the CEO. This design gives Tesla strong control over innovation and product development, which has helped the company stay competitive. However, it also creates challenges. Centralization can slow decisions, limit flexibility, and reduce employee empowerment. Research shows that highly centralized structures often struggle with long-term adaptability. Culturally, Tesla values speed and innovation, but this can conflict with consistency and stability. When we take a closer look at Tesla, it becomes clear that several dimensions are struggling and directly affecting the company's long-term success. The first issue is the quality of management challenges, where leadership decisions often create instability and uncertainty for stakeholders. The second is centralized leadership control, where authority is concentrated at the top, particularly under the CEO. This leads to the third challenge, reduced employee empowerment, which research shows can limit morale, creativity, and adaptability. Finally, Tesla faces a culture conflict between innovation and stability. The fast-paced, innovation-driven culture is one of Tesla's strengths, but it often comes at the expense of consistency and employee well-being. At Tesla, both internal and external forces strongly influence our effectiveness. Internally, our drive for constant innovation pushes us to move fast and scale ideas quickly. Externally, we face intense competition and evolving regulations that require agility. Centralization has given us control during rapid growth, but to stay competitive, we now need more flexibility and stronger channels for employee input. Evidence indicates that blending strong leadership with employee participation creates the adaptability needed to navigate rapid change. The challenge ahead is to preserve the speed that drives innovation while building systems that strengthen long-term resilience. As you see on the slide, Tesla's embodiment of conscious capitalism can be viewed through three areas: higher purpose, stakeholder orientation, and culture and leadership. Our higher purpose is clear: accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy, which has positioned us as an industry leader. Stakeholder orientation remains strong with customers and shareholders, though greater attention is needed to employee needs. Conscious culture and leadership also present opportunities to build trust, enhance transparency, and demonstrate empathy throughout the organization. Research confirms that companies embracing these values achieve stronger reputation, loyalty, and performance. This slide highlights Kotter's 8-step change model, specifically tailored to improving our people management practices. Step 1 is creating urgency by highlighting risks of high turnover and talent loss. Step 2 is forming a guiding coalition uniting HR leaders, plant managers, and employee representatives. Step 3 is developing a vision to make Tesla the most innovative and people-centered workplace. Step 4 communicates this vision consistently through town halls and leadership training. Step 5 empowers employees by expanding feedback channels and professional development opportunities. Step 6 celebrates short-term wins, such as improved retention and reduced safety incidents. Step 7 consolidates gains by expanding successful initiatives across all plants. Finally, step 8 anchors change by integrating people-focused values into evaluations, promotions, and leadership standards. Research shows that when Kotter's model is applied consistently, organizations increase adoption rates and sustain long-term improvements in culture and performance. As we move forward with improving people management, there are several challenges we must anticipate. The first is resistance to change, especially in an environment that values speed and innovation. To address this, leadership must communicate the benefits of change clearly and involve employees early in the process. The second challenge is balancing efficiency with employee well-being. Streamlined operations can unintentionally strain workers. Therefore, realigning HR and operations subsystems is essential to integrate wellness programs, professional development, and stronger safety protocols. A third challenge involves sustaining momentum. Embedding changes into performance evaluations, leadership training, and cultural practices ensures long-term alignment. Research confirms that subsystem realignment, particularly in HR, communication, and leadership structures, helps you institutionalize improvements and strengthen organizational culture. When we think about leading teams and building collaboration, 3 lessons stand out. First, structure. Tesla's centralized model has fueled rapid innovation, but it limits participation. A better path is creating structures that invite collaboration while avoiding rigid decision-making that silences voices. The second one is culture. Values only matter when leaders live them. Modeling transparency and empathy builds trust, while withholding information or inconsistent communication undermines collaboration. Finally, leading change. Launching new initiatives isn't enough. Improvements must become daily practice. That means tying change to training, evaluations, and recognition systems, while resisting the urge to declare victory too soon. Research reminds us that lasting change requires reinforcement at every level. Together, these lessons show that when structure, culture, and change align, collaboration thrives and organizations succeed. That concludes my presentation for today. Chairman Jones and members of the board, thank you for your time and attention. I appreciate the opportunity to share this analysis and propose strategies for strengthening Tesla's organizational effectiveness. At this point, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have and look forward to hearing your feedback on how we can move these initiatives forward together.